Hey there tech fans, Rick here again with another review, and today I have the RM75 Smart Magnetic RGB fill light from our good friends over at SmallRig. Now, fill light is the perfect way to control the lighting in any situation, whether you're online streaming games or creating YouTube videos, or maybe you just want to take a picture of something on your desk. The fill light allows you to eliminate shadows where you need to, and even add shadows to certain scenes to create interest in your subject. And what SmallRig has built here is a very sophisticated product in a tiny little package that handles those tasks really well, but it can also display color, it's magnetic, it can be controlled from your smartphone. It's got a lot of pre-built functions inside of it. I'm really jazzed about this light. Now, before I get into the overview, I always like to start with an unboxing just to show you all the components that come with the kit so you understand exactly what you get if you buy this product. And then I'll dive into the overview and explain what makes this product so special compared to others. I'll take a closer look at it so you understand the buttons and knobs and indicators and how to use it. And then I'll come back and actually do a really quick demo to show you how you can control it from your phone and point out some things that you're going to want to keep in mind when you're comparing the RM75 to other fill lights on the market. So let's get started with the unboxing. When you pop open the box, you'll find the RM75. It's a really nice, well-built product. It's got aluminum on the sides, magnetic on 4 sides. They also include a charging cable. This is PD charging, which means you can fast charge it through a USB-C connection. So the cable they include has a USB-A here and a USB-C here. This plugs into the light. This can plug into any standard USB charger. If you have a PD charger, even better, it'll charge it quicker. But it's nice they include that cable, and it's a really nice high-quality cable. It's got a nylon covering on the outside of it. They also include a diffuser, and it's a rubberized diffuser. You snap it on the front of the unit, and that kind of knocks down some of the glare if you're going to be in close with the lighting. So it's nice they include that. And a full instruction manual that explains everything you need to know about this light, how to charge it, how to use it, what kind of controls you can use, how to download the application to actually control the light. All the good information you need is in that manual. Now let's talk about the light a little bit, because with fill lights, they drop into one of two categories. They're either white fill lights, which are great. They're inexpensive. They're really modified flashlights that basically are a battery pack with some LEDs on the front. You can turn them on. They'll throw a lot of light in a situation. Maybe you have control over the brightness. Most of them do. You might also have control over the temperature, which is the sort of bright white or soft white. And that's a Kelvin scale that will vary, somewhere around 2,000 up to maybe 8,000 or so. This one can handle that. So it's got that capabilities built into it. But the other category is an RGB light, which will actually throw color. Now, they're more sophisticated, and this one is smarter than anything I've used. I use a lot of fill lights here at the shop. This is hands down my favorite for so many different reasons. So from the white side of the house, you can completely control the brightness on this unit. You can do it from the unit itself, or you can do it from your phone. You also have control over the temperature of the light, and it will vary from 2,500 Kelvin up to 8,500 Kelvin. So you can go from really warm to really white light if you need to cast a lot of illumination in a scene. So you have a lot of control over the white side of the house. Where it really shines for me is on the RGB side of the house, because they give you so many controls over how you can vary the colors that are available from this. There's a bunch of smart modes built into it as well. So you can use the standard CCI, which gives you control over the white. You can use RGB, where you can actually dial in exactly the color you want. It also has the ability to use standard color charts. So it's got programs built into it that if you have to match a color based on standard color charts, you can tap in that color and it'll pull up that color exactly. My favorite feature with it, though, is I can actually pull up a picture on my phone, point to a spot in that picture, and the light will display that color. So if you're trying to match a color of a logo or something else that you need to really match that color perfectly, that photo feature is absolutely amazing. The unit has a 4,000 milliampere hour battery in it, which means it's going to run for about 3 hours on a full charge. You can quickly charge it, again, through the USB-C, through a PD charger, so you get a lot of use out of it. I love the fact that it's magnetic. That just makes things so much easier, because when I'm out in the field, there's always a metal surface around someplace that I can stick it to, but it's magnetic on 3 sides. So it's magnetic on the back, on the side, on this side, actually 4 sides, that side, the bottom, so everything you need to just stick it to something and start casting that light out. In addition to that, it's got a 1/4 inch 20 on the bottom, so you can stick it on a tripod. You can put it on a cold shoe mount in the top of your camera if you need to. I mean, it's just really, really versatile in that respect. Now, a couple other things that are pretty cool about it are the fact that it can be controlled by an application. Now, you can download the application, and I'll show you that in a little bit, but that application will connect to this light and give you complete control over not only the brightness, the color intensity, the temperature, all the things you want to vary, you can vary through that application. But that's where you use some of those built-in features where I can pick a color off a chart, or I can pick special effects. That's another thing it does, where you can have it blink red and blue like a car, like a cop car's off to the side. You can have it create lightning if you need, heartbeat, strobe light, all the things you'd need for sort of setting the mood of a scene. If you're going to do any kind of video recording, you can set it up with that. The other thing that's really cool, and again, this is something I haven't seen on any of the other fill lights out there, especially at this price point, because I didn't mention this is way less expensive than a lot of other competing fill lights that are out there that don't have these features built in. It actually has a mesh network where you can, let me let that sink in for a second. I can connect up a bunch of these lights through the application and control them as a group. So imagine for a second that I need to illuminate this scene right here, and I want to have the exact same color on both lights. I can dial it up and have both those lights as slaves talk to each other through that mesh network and have control over both of those lights at the same time. Different colors, same color, flashing, no flashing, just a tremendous amount of control. And that's super important because with fill lights, one of the biggest headaches is that you think you've got the right lighting right, where you've set them up on the desk, then you step back, you take the picture, and there's a shadow you missed, and you got to go over and fiddle with it again, or maybe you've got to adjust it on the back. With this one, having the remote control application means I can be at the camera, look through my viewfinder, and adjust it as needed to get that perfect scene and the perfect illumination cast across that scene. So the remote control is really important as well. A couple other things that I wanted to mention was that the product itself is a lot smaller than other fill lights, but it's incredibly bright. I find this to be probably the brightest light I've got when I've got it at full intensity. Now, normally when I'm lighting a scene, I want to make sure that I'm not at full intensity, but if I need to, I can really crank it up and illuminate that scene. My favorite feature by far, though, is the control over color, especially over that mesh network, because when I've got multiple fill lights and I'm trying to get the same color, it's really difficult to do that. But the fact that these can bind together sort of, you know, as a group, as a web, as a mesh, I can control them all at the same time, and that just makes things so much easier. And I think SmallRig has packed so many features into the RM75 that it's hard to compare it to anything else on the market. But if you stay tuned, next I'll take a closer look at the unit and explain all the knobs and buttons and indicators, and then I'll come back and point out a few key things that you'll want to keep in mind when you're comparing it to other units on the market. Inside the kit, you'll find the RM75 fill light, a really nice diffuser assembly. It's made out of a rubber material, and you just pop this on the front of the light when you want to knock down some of the glare. There's cutouts on the bottom for the 1/4" 20 and cutouts on the top so you can access the controls. They also include a really nice charging cable. It's heavy duty, it's got a nice nylon covering on the outside, USB-A on one end, USB-C on the other end. You'll plug this into the light, plug this into any charger that's a standard USB charger or your computer. You can charge the light using this cable. They also include a full instruction manual that lists diagrams, information on the displays, showing you how to use the product, and you can download the app by scanning one of these 2 codes right here. Now we'll take a closer look at the light. And I think they've done an excellent job with the build quality of this light. It's got a really nice finish on the outside, very durable, nice plastic covering on the front. The back's got sort of almost like a carbon fiber look to it there. Nice display in the middle of it. Now on the top of the unit, you've got a couple of controls, pretty straightforward. You've got a charging port right there. That's the Type-C charging port. Again, plug the cable in here, plug it into a USB charger and charge it up. On-off switch right there. You'll turn it on by flicking it to the left. Then the set button controls what mode you're in and changes some of the parameters inside. You'll also find a display right there. So if I turn the unit on, you'll see on the back it goes through a power on self-test, and it's right now looking for a Bluetooth connection. Now I have the phone disconnected at this point, but you can actually see the hue, the saturation, all of the things you need to know about the light and control the light through that. Now, I typically control it through the application, which is a little bit easier because I've got a big screen. But if you're just on site and don't have your phone connected or don't want to connect your phone, you can control it from this set button up top here, and you can step through the HSI, the RGB, the CCT, whatever mode you want to be in, whatever color you want to display, the brightness, the color temperature, can all be controlled using this display and this spin wheel up top here. That's pretty much it. The bottom's got a 1/4" 20 like I'd mentioned. You can attach this to a tripod. You can put it on a cold shoe on the side of your camera. Whatever you need to do to attach this to your rig, it really makes it easy. The best part for me though is the magnetic aspects of it. The fact that the back, the 2 sides and the bottom are all magnetic means that I can snap it onto anything that's metal and it'll stay right where I left it. Now I'll show you a quick demonstration of how you can control the light from the application, and then I'll give you a few things to keep in mind if you want to compare the RM75 to other fill lights you may be considering. Right now I've got the application up, I've connected to the light and the light's turned on, and I'm on the main CCT page, which allows me to adjust the brightness. So I'll turn up the brightness right there. I can also change the color tone. Right now I'm set up at 5400 Kelvin. I'll take it all the way down to 2500 Kelvin. You can see it's a nice soft warm light. then I'll take it all the way up top to an 8500 Kelvin, which is a much brighter, harsher light. But that's important if you're trying to illuminate a scene and really pick out details. But I like it somewhere around the 4000 Kelvin, in that range. Now there are other options in here as well. Let me go to RGB. Now when I go to that, it maintains the same brightness, and I can turn any color up I want. There's blue, full up. There's green, full up. And here's red, full up. Let me turn the green down. There's red. Now, that's pretty basic functions for an RGB light. All of them do that if you have a remote control from an application. Where this gets really interesting is I can pick a color card. So inside here, I've got an option to go with either the Lee color card, the Resco color card, or even a custom color card, and I can pick any color I want. So if I go into Resco and pick one of the blues, let me pick full CT blue, it matches that color perfectly. So it gives you control over what the light's going to produce in a particular scene, especially if you're dealing with colors that have to be really exact. This allows you to dial it up perfectly. And the last thing I wanted to show you was sort of picking a color from a picture. Now right now on my phone I brought up a couple of pictures. I'm a big fan of space travel and NASA, and the James Webb Telescope just launched a couple of days ago. Man, was that an exciting day. It was Christmas morning, actually, and I've got a picture of the telescope up in the sky, so let me bring that up. And right now I'm pointing to the solar panels on that telescope, and what you've got is the exact color of the solar panels in that picture, and I can vary it anywhere I want. Now I'm picking an area on Earth that's got sort of a blue cloud cover, and then of course outer space is black, so you're not going to see black here. But what I'm trying to get across is that you can take a picture of something to try to mimic the color in that picture on the light. I think that's brilliant, and it's all done remotely from the application. So imagine having a few of these on a table, illuminating something you're taking a picture of, and being able to control the brightness, the color tone, and the color itself remotely from quite a distance away. So pretty cool. All right, a couple other things you want to keep in mind when you're looking at an RGB light like this. The first thing is, how long will the battery last? Because RGB lights have a tendency to not have really big batteries in them, which can be a real problem for you, because if you're trying to take photographs or you're video recording a scene, you want to have the lights on for quite a long time. And if they blink out after 60 minutes, that means you've got to run around with a battery pack connected up to the light just to keep things running. I love the fact that this can run for 3 hours or more, depending on the brightness levels, on a single charge, and that's because of the 4,000 milliampere hour battery inside. That's important to consider. I love the charging option that it's USB-C and it's PD charging. A lot of the other fill lights on the market use micro USB. They don't charge quickly, so it could take a long time to fill them up with electrons that you're going to then use to illuminate the light. The fact that this connects over PD and can fast charge and has a really big battery means it's going to last a long time. Most of the fill lights that are on the market that are just white fill lights have control over brightness and typically color tone. This gives you both those controls. It also gives you a range of hues as well inside that white, so it gives you a little more control than the basic fill light. But the RGB side of it's really where it matters. A lot of the standard RGB lights on the market will only give you a little bit of control over where you can change those colors. Maybe it's even a limited number of different colors you can pick. With this one, you have a wide spectrum of colors you can pick from on the color wheel. You can match it to different color palettes, and you can also, like I showed you a second ago, actually match it to a part of a picture, which I think is astounding, to actually change the color of it to match that picture perfectly. It also has a lot of special effects built in. I don't use those that often, but if you're creating a scene where you need to simulate a police car off to the side, you can put two of these out there and they'll blink red and white, and you can make noises as if there's a police car over to the side. That's kind of a hidden feature, but I like that a lot. The last thing I'll mention is the magnetic aspect of it. I know that seems like a really small thing, but most of the fill lights I have to put on a tripod, and that's another piece of gear I have to carry along with me. The fact that I can put this on any magnetic surface, point it to what I want to illuminate, and turn it on is a really big bonus for me. And again, it's magnetic on 4 sides, the back, both sides, and the bottom, which is pretty cool. So with SmallRig, I think they've really thought through everything I'm going to use the small fill light for, and they've really built a product that incorporates all the features I care about. And SmallRig's not a small company. Now, if you've, kind of funny, SmallRig's not a small company, but if you've never heard of the company before, they make a wide variety of professional photography equipment, from lenses to mounts to SmallRig cages, all kinds of other things. And I've covered a few of their products on the channel. I own a lot of their products, and I really am a fan of this company because, unlike a lot of other companies that just sort of say, hey, we're going to build a fill light, what can we build and how can we make it less expensive just to get into the market? These guys really look at the market and think about how people like me, professional videographers, treat my equipment and what I'm really looking for, and they build those features in. And the best part is, this light competitively priced against other lights, you're getting a whole lot more features built into this product at a lower price than you'll pay for some other fill lights on the market. So that's pretty much all I had for today. Now, if you're interested in this product, I've got a link below where you can go to Amazon and check it out and compare it to other lights over there. But I just wanted to spend a lot of time talking about it because when I find a product I like, I love talking about it on the channel and letting you all know exactly what I think of the product. So hopefully you found this helpful, and until next time, stay nerdy.